Hello everybody, lovely to be speaking with you again, and I wonder how you are all doing, all in totally different situations and circumstances. Many of you on your own, many of you with very busy households, but all of us in the same situation in this bizarre lockdown experience. And I wonder what the things are that have been going through your mind as we embarked on this new experience. I know that from the very beginning I was really excited to know that I might have a little bit more time to spend time with God and to read His Word and to ponder some of the things that He teaches us. And the two things that keep just coming back to me, I think I must be somebody that God has a lot to keep trying to teach me the same thing over and over again. The things that keep coming back to me that I've been pondering over is Mary and Martha, and that great talk that Mark did at the beginning of this lockdown, where the challenge was for Mary, for us to be like Mary and to sit at His feet and listen to Jesus. What a brilliant opportunity at the moment for us to do that. And I thought, great, yes, I can sit at His feet and listen. What does that mean? Well, I can dive into His Word. I can read His Word and then allow God to help me to learn things from that and to ponder those things. We in our family find YouVersion a really helpful place to start, and they have loads of different Bible plans on there. Listening to Christian songs, but like really listening to the words, listening to what the words are saying, and allowing those words to change our hearts, and just praying through the day in all of those different experiences, reminding ourselves of the promises that God gives us in the Bible, and then praying. So I've been thinking about that, and I've also been thinking about Psalm 46, which I know Wallace has already done a grand thought on, and there are those last verses in that chapter: be still and know that I am God. And I think I must be very thick-skinned, or just very thick to be taught, because those verses are ones that God keeps reminding me of since when I became a Christian at 14, and all the way through, with various different people reminding me, be still and know that I am God. And I was thinking about, well, what does that mean? Great, I can be still. I can spend time with God in this lockdown time. But what does that mean for people who are in the NHS or are delivering loads of post every day, those people that are emptying our bins every day, those lorry drivers that are trying to get equipment more and more into hospitals, and all the other things that we don't see, and all of those jobs where maybe people are even busier. What does that mean for them to be still and know that I am God? What does that mean for mums that actually it's got much busier at home now? They've got children and nappies and food and arguments and a messy house all coming out of their ears. What does that mean for the person who's can't be still because they've got so much going on in their mind, so many things they're trying to battle with, depression that they're trying to battle with, and all of these things that are raging in their head? What does it mean to be still and know that I am God? Well, I've learnt quite a lot from looking at that psalm and listening to what Wallace had to say, that actually that psalm is not about just sitting down and chilling out. In fact, it's far from that. It was in the midst of a raging war. It's describing mountains falling and waters roaring and kingdoms falling. It's a time of turmoil, of hardship, of fear, of suffering. And yet in the midst of that, God says, or the psalmist says and reminds us to be still and know that I am God. I can be even praying and reading my Bible, and my mind is still whirring with other thoughts. I'm not being still. It's about knowing God deep in our hearts. It's about our hearts being stilled, our minds being stilled. When everything's going on around us, that our hearts, our minds are stilled, and we know that God is God. He is all powerful. He is sovereign. He is in control. God is in all, and He is everything. There is nothing that is out of God's control. And we can be reminded of that whatever is going on around us. In the chaos of children and nappies flying everywhere and ill children, whatever, in the middle of the greatest fears that we've got when we are dealing with very poorly patients in a hospital ward, we can lift our hearts and our eyes to God and be stilled by the pure knowledge that God is in control. I know that as these weeks have gone on, my lovely desires to want to spend time with God every day and be still and sit at His feet, they just don't always happen, because I'm sinful and because I busy myself. I teach my children to be busy so that we don't have time to think. We don't have time to be sad. We don't have time to dwell on the fact that we can't go out anywhere. And that's not right necessarily. It's good for us to be doing that, of course it is, but it's not right for us to do that and to forfeit being still, sitting at Jesus' feet. It talks a lot in the Bible about us persevering in prayer, battling in prayer, meditating day and night on God's word. And it's something we have to work at. And why do we have to work at it? Because it is so good for our hearts to be stilled by God and to know that He is God and is in control. Whatever is the best thing we can do for ourselves and for our families each day. And I pray that all of us will come out of this having developed that habit, developed that self-control, and developed that perseverance more in being still and knowing God. Love you all lots. Hope you have a good day. Take care. Bye-bye.